Hey everyone, welcome back to Bit by Knit with me, Jenny. I am here with you guys today on the west coast of Canada in beautiful British Columbia. And I feel like, I know I haven't recorded a proper podcast for a while, so I feel like I have a lot to talk about. Um, my last several recordings have all been around Advent and Advent box reveals, openings, whatever. So this is actually a proper podcast on all the things that that I finished making, that I'm currently making, that I have plans to make. Maybe not too much on the plans yet. I have to write that all down, and I will show you what I have to help me with that as well at the end of this episode, which is very exciting. I just picked it up today and I'm super, super excited to start using it. Okay, so I'm going to start with my finished objects. We'll go into WIPs and we'll go into acquisitions. For the first thing I want to show is the finished object that I made for my husband, which I actually finished right before Christmas. I finished it on December the 22nd, and I think that was including it being blocked and ready to go. So he was able to wear it at Christmas time, which is really good. It was actually really a big project to block because it's quite heavy and thick and big. But that is the zipper sweater. I hope you guys can see this okay. The zipper sweater man by Petite Knit. And it is the bulky version. I think she's got a couple of different options. This one is with the bulky weight yarn, which is the one I chose because it would take less time to knit up. I'm very happy I did. So I started this on September the 19th and I finished it on December the 22nd. So it did take me almost 3 months to do. And I used Knit Picks. I want to say it's Wool of the Andes worsted weight, but if I'm wrong, I will correct myself up here because I did not bring the tag with me. I have it over there. I should go look at it. Yeah, let's go check it. Yes, I was right. It is Wool of the Andes, which is a superwash bulky weight yarn for Knit Picks, and it is in the colorway Cobblestone Heather. There's 135 yards for 100 grams. I want to say 11. I'm pretty sure I bought 11 of them because I wasn't sure. I wanted to make sure I had enough. So I think I overestimated, but I also find that because I'm such a tight knitter, I often end up with more left over. I don't know why. That seems like a weird thing, but maybe that's the reason. So I have I didn't even touch 2 of the balls that I've caked up, and I'm maybe halfway through this one. So I've got, what would that be? 137 times 2.5, 350? I don't know, something like that. So I don't really know what to do with the extra yarn. I was thinking maybe I would use it to make a vest for myself, but I don't know if that would be enough yardage. I really doubt it will. So we'll see. I don't know yet. I'll do something with it, I think. I hope. Anyways, back to the sweater. So this sweater, I feel like I probably could have been done it sooner than I was because what I accidentally did was I made it longer than I should have, and then by a skein of yarn. And then I had my husband try it on and it was way too long, so I had to frog a bunch. And the time that I spent knitting that extra skein was what I should have been just knitting on the ribbing and then the sleeves, but I got away with myself. I got carried away when I was knitting it. That's okay. So for the sweater, it is knit top down, and you're doing some short row shaping as you're going. And I believe I start with I started this in September. I'm pretty sure you start with the neckband, and then you knit it extra long, and then you pick up stitches to connect it. And you just have to leave a little bit of stitches on either end for the zipper installation. So you just kind of leave that hanging until you're ready to put the zipper in. And then you, start knitting the rest of the garment, and it's a raglan long sleeve, regular cuffs. I didn't do twisted ribbing because the pattern for this one, the zipper sweater man, does not call for twisted ribbing, just calls for regular ribbing, so that's what I did. And I'm super happy with it, and I'm actually impressed I was able to get a hold of this because my husband has been wearing it nonstop since pretty much I made it. It needs a blocking. That's the plan for later today. I'm going to block it again. I did do a bit of shaving on it before starting this episode because it was starting to get a little bit pilly, especially under the arms and on the sleeves. There's a couple of spots that I didn't quite get to. I don't know if you can tell from there. Maybe I'll bring this up close just to show it does pill quite a bit. which kind of surprised me how much it does pill just because of the like texture of the wool. I didn't think it was so soft that it would pill so quickly, but that's okay. I have a depiller, it's not a problem. So yeah, she's bound for a wash today. But also, oh, I should talk about the zipper. So the zipper, I ended up getting this zipper from my local fabric store, Fabricland, in Canada here. I don't know, the States has Fabricland. Anyways, if they do, then whatever. Got the zipper from Fabricland, and Petite Knit has a great tutorial on her website linking to how to install the zipper and everything, so I just followed that. I was a little worried that my zipper wasn't going to be long enough because I tried, you know, you measure the amount that you need, you buy the zipper a little bit longer, but then when you block it and it stretches a bit, I was a bit nervous, but it's actually just the right amount for the zipper, so that's perfect. I think it ends like right here is where the end of it is, so it's just a little bit. It was fiddly to put in, but not terrible. It was, you just have to, you know, it just takes time, I think. It just takes time because I did block it before I put it in to try and make the stitches a bit more flat for making the zipper, applying the zipper. So it just took time, but I think it looks pretty nice on the inside there. And I'm happy with it. This is my very first zipper putting in a zipper, and the only thing that I've noticed is since it's been done, after I blocked it, it was kind of, you know, you can see it actually now, it does form a little bit of a lump right here. And when I was blocking it, I was, you know, trying to pull it out and make it flat, and it worked, but it just eventually, you know, slouches again. So I don't know if that is because the fabric is so bulky and it kind of weighs it down, or if I put the zipper in a little bit too tightly or loosely or whatever that's causing it to do that. But like on the whole, I'm really happy with how the zipper looks, and I think I did a pretty good job for my first zipper. And I would definitely make this again. I'm actually planning on maybe down the road making one for myself. We'll see. I have to like wait a while because I need a break, but it is a nice pattern and it is a nice garment, so I wouldn't mind one for myself. Oh, maybe I should talk about the gauge and stuff. I brought this over. I should talk about all the information that I did. Okay, that's been a while. This is a size medium that I knit. I did kind of add a couple of, when I was doing the raglans, I did add a couple of extra increases because my husband has pretty broad shoulders, and I just wanted to make sure it was gonna fit the shoulders properly. So I'm glad I did. So it's almost like an in-between medium and large size that I did for him. And I used the 6mm needles for the body. I used 5mm needles for the ribbing, and then I think it was 4mm needles for doing the inside knitting here that you do before you put the zipper in. I'm pretty sure. And I think that's it. Yeah, okay. Anyways, we'll put that aside. Alright, my next finished object is my sweater that I made off of the pattern from the waffle sweater by Knitting for Olive. Knitting for Olive? Pretty sure. All I did was, well, I had bought that pattern a while ago because I had different yarn that I wanted to use to make it, but since doing that, I'm actually not sure I want to make it anymore. I'm not really, I don't know, I just worry that with all of the lace for the whole garment, I would have to wear a shirt underneath it, and I'm not a huge fan of that. So I'm not sure yet if I'll make it or not. We'll see. But I just wanted to use that pattern to give me the dimensions for the neckline and just like the shoulder shaping and the stitches that I need for sleeves and stuff like that. So it does not have the actual waffle stitch in it. It just has the dimensions for all of the cast on stitches and all that. But here she is, all done. I'm trying to figure out if I'm looking at the front or the back. I think this is actually the front. Oh, here comes my dog. Hi, pups. You want to say hi? Hi. Hi. Oh, hello. Oh, thank you. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Good job. Okay, just stay there. And let me just stay. I'll be right back. Just chill. Yeah. Good girl. Okay, chill. I don't know if you can see her. Maybe her little bum. That's rude. Anyway. anyways, so the sweater, yeah, off the waffle sweater for the dimensions. So you start with the neckline and you just knit, and then you fold it over, you pick up stitches, and then you start knitting the body, and there are German short rows in there, and it's raglan. And I think I'm actually pretty sure that the waffle sweater also just has no decreases in the sleeve, and it's just like a balloon sleeve. So that's what I did on this. And I kind of ran out of yarn. I was playing yarn chicken for sure. My green ran out on this stripe here, so I couldn't end with the green stripe at the bottom. Like, I started at the top and I kind of wanted it to end with the green, but I ran out, so I wasn't going to recalculate my striping to salvage some green and put it on the bottom. I just like, no, not worth it to me. So I just ended up on the bottom. I did a couple of extra repeats of the gray, a couple extra repeats of the blue and orange yarn, and then I ended with the gray. So I don't know if you can tell, but it is like thinner striping here and here than at the bottom, but I don't think it's that noticeable, so I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I still am getting used to it. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about the fit of it, I guess. The thing that bothers me, I guess, is the bottom. So I feel like it flares a bit, and I'll show a picture of it, of me wearing it. I don't know if I need to add elastic, but that might be something that'll help just with that flare. Otherwise, I think it looks pretty good. It's boxy. It's like, yeah, pretty boxy. That's okay. And the sleeves, I could only do like 3/4 or kind of like bracelet length sleeves because I ran out of yarn. I do have a little bit left, but it wouldn't have been enough to make a difference in the sleeve length, so I wasn't going to pull back for just a couple of centimeters, if even. So she is what she is, and she's done. And the yarn that I used, so the green is leftover Surrey alpaca that I got from Bramble Ridge, and I used it in a different garment, and I had almost a skein left over, so I wanted to use up the rest of it for this. So the green is the Surrey alpaca from Bramble Ridge. The gray is her Surrey DK. I actually don't know what color this is. I want to say maybe it's Thunder, but when I got it, it was gifted to me, and I didn't pay attention to the name as I was getting it gifted to me, so I'm sorry. And then, sorry, and then the blue and orange here is also from Bramble Ridge, and it's her hand spun. She actually spun it herself, and she has a bunch for sale, and yeah, I got one as well gifted to me. So I wanted to combine them all. So I did, and I think she looks pretty good together. I'm happy with her. I did the size, pretty sure I did the size small in the waffle sweater pattern, and I don't remember my needle size, and I'll put it all up here if I can find it, because I don't know. Oh, I'm a terrible host here. That's okay. So that was all done. I finished this one relatively close to the same time I finished my husband's sweater, so yeah, it was done before January, which is good. Got 2 things off my needle before January. And then the last finished object I have, I actually started this on January 19th, and I finished it on January 21st. It took me 3 days to make because it's just a little baby gift item that I wanted to make. And it is called the Newborn Vertebrae. It's by, actually, do I even know who it's by? Yeah, okay. It's designed by Kelly Van Niekirk. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce the last name. It's a free pattern. I got it off of Ravelry for free, but on the free version, it's only a 1 size newborn size. But you can get, I believe they do newborn to adult sizes, and I'm pretty sure that's a paid pattern. But this one was a free one. It's called, yeah, so the Newborn Vertebrae, it is a frontless cardie, so you don't have to do any pickups or any increases to make this go further in to make it button up. It's just supposed to be opened like that. And that's the back. So the pattern calls for fingering weight yarn, like a 4-ply fingering weight yarn. And I went down to my local yarn store, and they have this, you know what, let me go get it. So I went down to my local yarn store to get yarn for this, and instead of finding like a 4-ply yarn, because like I wanted to make sure it was going to be a superwash yarn or like a non-irritating yarn. I often will make baby gifts out of acrylic just because I know that it's so much easier to care for and there's like not really a risk of an allergy or sensitivity to it. So at my local yarn store they have this Sheepies. I think that's pronounced Sheepies, but it's a J. Anyways, Sheepies stone washed yarn that they sell, and it is 78% cotton and 22% acrylic. But it is it's a sport weight instead of a fingering weight, so it's a little bit thicker of a yarn. But it was a really nice. It was really soft. They actually had samples in their store with knits made up, baby garments made up with it, and it was really soft and it was like super drapey and all that stuff. So it was really nice looking garments that they had. So I thought I would give it a try. And I actually really like the yarn for this kind of a project. I wouldn't mind making more baby gifts with this kind of a yarn. It's actually quite soft. And I do appreciate the fact that it's mostly cotton. So it's still, even though it has a natural fiber in it, it's still going to be super easy to wash. It even says it's machine washable, but you do have to lay it flat to dry. But that's like so much easier to manage for baby gifts. So anyways, it is the color 831 Axonite, I think is how you would say it, Axonite for the colorway. I ended up buying two balls of it, and they were 50 grams each. And it's funny because in the pattern, when you look at the instructions for how much yarn you're going to need, it said that they were using about 0.5 of a skein of yarn, and I needed almost both skeins. I think I ended up, this was 89.25 grams that I used, so I only had like 11 grams left afterwards. So I'm glad I ended up buying the two. And I'll bring her up a little closer for you to see. And here's the yarn. And so yeah, this took no time at all. It is, did I have to do short rows? No, I don't believe there's any short rows. No, it just goes into the increases for the raglan. And it's actually a knit front back increase that they do instead of a make one left or make one right. And I think it looks really nice like that. I've done them before, but I don't think I've ever done them for like a raglan style increase. And I think they're really pretty. Actually, I'll bring it up close again to show those. Yeah. So what you do for the construction is you actually start with the stockinette. You start with the stockinette, you make the whole garment all the way down, and then you knit the sleeves, and then you're doing your ribbing at the bottom, you're doing the cuff ribbing, and then at the very end, after you've done the whole thing, you're picking up all of the edge and all the way around and all the way down, and then you're doing your ribbing for the cardigan. Yeah, sounds really cute. I should tell you who it's for, I guess. It's for my husband's cousin who's having a baby soon, and I'm invited to the baby shower in a couple of weeks. So I just wanted to have a handmade gift as well as some other items for them for that special little bundle of joy that's coming their way. Alrighty. So those are all my finished objects. Yeah, those are all my finished objects. I'm going to go into works in progress. Only things that I've been working on. I haven't touched that scarf cowl, whatever I'm making with the yarn that I'm not appreciating. I haven't even touched that. I still am trying to make time to start my skirt, but I have not done that yet at all either. I have so many like things that I want to make and not enough time to make them all, so it's a it's a problem. That's okay. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll start with a thing that I am frogging. So I decided that this sock was not going to work for me. It just wasn't, it's not stretchy, it's so tight. Because it's a 6-ply, I definitely need to size up my needles. So she's off the needles and just hanging out here. I don't really need to say much more until I cast it on again with bigger needles, less stitches, and hopefully it'll be a better fit. All right, so this is my very first ever knit ranunculus. I ended up jumping on the bandwagon and decided to make a ranunculus for myself. It's a super popular pattern on Ravelry, and I've never really desired to make it because I'm not, that very first picture that they have on Ravelry as their like picture that kind of wants, is what you look at to decide if you want to make it. I've never really cared for that picture. So it's never been one that I actually wanted to look into making, but I know it's a very popular pattern and it's very popular for a reason. So, and I had yarn that I wasn't sure if I had enough for anything else, so I decided to give it a try, and I'm very glad I did because I'm actually really enjoying it. The Ranunculus by Midori Hirose, and I'm pretty much, she almost looks done. When I hold this up, you're going to think I'm almost done, but I actually have to frog some of it, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So this is how much I've got done so far. She is blocked for part of it. I blocked the body and I blocked one of the sleeves because when I was knitting this sleeve, I wasn't sure how long to make it because this is a very stretchy yarn. And so I didn't want to make it too long. So I blocked it, and it's a good thing I did because it's already a bit too long. This is the sleeve though that I'm probably going to have to frog. I've actually frogged it once already. I was about a third of the way into it when I realized that I was using the wrong size needles and it was really small. And so I frogged that and used the correct size needles, and it's still very small. It's pretty tight on my arm. And I might do a try on and put a picture of me wearing it here. This sleeve versus this sleeve, which looks a lot better right now. And so what I did was I followed the pattern with how much stitches you should have for this sleeve for the size that I'm doing, which is the size small, I believe. I didn't get the right sheet. But it's, I don't know, my gauge is tight, I guess. Okay, this is my problem. I did not do a gauge swatch. So I think my gauge is small. And so instead of doing the correct number of stitches like I did on this one, when I cast on this one, I picked up an extra 8 stitches, I believe. Yeah, an extra 8 stitches. So it's looking a lot better. I feel like it's going to be a much better fit for my arm than the other sleeve. So this one I will finish. I'm almost done the length, and then I don't actually think I want to end with the come on, brain. It calls for a, you can think of it, I-cord, there you go. It calls for an I-cord bind off for the sleeve, and I don't think I really want that after all. I did it on this side, and I think that I'd prefer to have a ribbed bind off. So I think that's what I'll do on this side. I'm going to first knit the length that I want it. I'm going to block it before I add the ribbing just to make sure if it's too long, I can frog back a little bit and make it the right length before I add the ribbing. Because it's like ribbing at the top and it's ribbing at the bottom. So it just seemed odd to me that you would do I-cord for the sleeves. And it's twisted ribbing. So you have a twisted ribbing, and I-cord. It just seemed a little bit strange to me. So I think I'll do twisted ribbing for the cuffs as well. Let's bring her up a little closer so you can see the pattern here, the lace. And then I'll show my twisted ribbing. I think the yarn is being blown out a bit. It's not quite as light or bright that is showing on the screen, but that's okay. So yeah, I actually think I've been showing you the back the whole time. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Anyways, there's the front. It's the same lace on both sides, so it's fine. But yeah, I'm happy with how this is turning out. I just have to fix the sleeves. I was hoping to have, I'm sorry, good girl. You're a good girl. I think it's sat on her. I was hoping to have this done before this recording because I started it. When did I start this? On December the 13th I started this, and I was hoping to have this done well before now, but other things have been taking up my time, and then having to frog the sleeve once and now again twice. It's just not done yet. But she'll be done hopefully by the next recording. I'll get that all fixed and figured out. So the yarn I'm using, let me see, where did I put the tag? I did just bring one over. I know I had it probably ready. Oh, you are. Okay, I found it. My dog was sitting on it. The yarn I'm using is Drops Baby Merino in the color 10. The color 10. And it is a superwash. Yeah, a superwash merino, 100% wool. I bought this last summer at a store in Nelson, BC called Burkana's. And they have a ton of awesome yarns there that I've never tried before. So I was wanting to try a couple of new yarns to me. So that's why I got this one. And I bought 5 balls of it. And so this is my last one that I'm on right now. And I don't think I'll need much more of it. But when I tink back my other sleeve, when I frog back my other sleeve and start knitting it again, I'll have extra stitches on that sleeve. So I might actually end up using a bit more of this ball up for that. But I still will have a little bit left. That's okay. So they're 50-gram balls. They have 175 meters in each one. And yeah, I think that's all. What is it? Fingering weight? I'm pretty sure. I think it's fingering weight. It doesn't actually say that I can tell. Oh, there's more stuff on the inside. Fingering weight, I think. Okay, so that's my ranunculus. And I actually like this pattern so much, I probably will make more, which is what a lot of people seem to do, and I understand now. It's very enjoyable knit. Okay, my last work in progress. Yes, I believe this is the last one I'm actually, well, I started it. It's on hold right now. I'm actually probably going to end up frogging it and restarting it because I made a mistake and I don't know if I can fix it by dropping down and fixing it. And I think it bugs me enough to start again. But I'll show you what it is first. This is the mixed rib caddy. No, sorry. This is the mixed rib. This is the mixed rib cami by Handmade by Florence, and I'm using a yarn that I had previously had from a Knit Crate box way back in the day. I can't remember, like I threw out the tags way back when I first got it and all the information that came with it. So I kind of did a bit of a Ravelry deep dive to try and figure out what yarn this is, and I think I figured it out, and I will just like write it up here because I don't actually have that information right beside me, but I had made a scarf or whatever out of it initially, and I didn't really like it and never wear it, so I wanted to reclaim the yarn, but it was only 2 skeins, so I kind of decided, it looks like it would be enough for this mixed rib cami. That's really hard to say. So that's why I decided to use this for that pattern, and I'm really happy with it. I think it looks really nice with this yarn. I'll bring it up close and then I'll show my mistake. And my mistake is, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, you can see it better on the wrong side, but I dropped a stitch right there, and I didn't realize that I dropped it off of my already knitted side. I thought I dropped it off of my left-hand needle, but I'd actually dropped it off my right-hand needle. So when I picked it up, I knitted again, or purled it again, or whatever I was doing for that stitch. And so it's got, and I think I picked it up wrong as well. And so it's got the wrong twist to it, and it's an extra stitch now. So I think that if I were to drop down and fix it, because it's such a thin yarn, I feel like it might show that more obviously that it was a fixed stitch and maybe have like a bit of a hole, more of a hole in the fabric than I want it to have. So yeah, so I think I'm gonna just frog it and redo it. But I do like the pattern and I really am happy with it. I'm a little actually worried that it might be a bit see-through. It definitely will be see-through. Because I did not gauge swatch, surprise, surprise. I'm doing the size B, and it is for 85 centimeter bust on 3mm circular needles. Am I using 3 or 3.5? I think I'm using 3.25 because I wanted to use 3, but I have Chowgu needles, and like the interchangeable needles, and they don't come with a 3. If you buy the set, maybe you can buy a 3 individually, but the like set of it does not come with a 3. So I went up, I think, to 3.25. So that's why it's kind of gappy. And I might change my mind when I redo it, I might go to a size C and put this on 2.75 millimeter needles so that it's not so see-through. We'll see. I should gauge swatch. See, the reason that I didn't gauge swatch with this one is because I only have the 2 skeins, and I know that I can gauge swatch and reclaim the yarn, but I just didn't want to do that because, yeah, I just didn't want to do that. It's fine. It's tank top. So that one is in the works. Okay, so let's talk about my acquisitions. I don't have very many. I just have a couple of skeins of yarn and the other item that I picked up today, so I'm super excited to talk about. We'll go with the yarn first. So I bought a few, 2 years ago at least now, 2 or 3 years ago, I had purchased this yarn from Bramble Ridge. It's her Surrey Alpaca Lace yarn in the color Hot Coral, and I bought 3 of them to make a sweater with, which is the Tin Can Knits. What's that one? I'll put the name here. It's from Tin Can Knits. It's their like free one that you can make your first sweater with, sort of thing. And I made that sweater and I love it, but I had a whole skein left over. It only took 2 of these because they're so generous with the amount of yarn. It has it's 75% Surrey alpaca and 25% lace, and it has 420 meters in the 50-gram skein that you get. And so I guess it went so long for the 2, I didn't need it. And so I wanted to use up this last skein. And so what I decided to do, and I actually hope it will look good because I'm not sure. We'll see. But what I ended up doing was I bought 2 of the Surrey Alpaca laces from Bramble Ridge in the color Mist. And that's, again, 75% Surrey Alpaca, 25% silk, and 420 meters per skein. And I thought I would pair it with this one. So I would do like a striping of it. And I'm not sure yet, but I feel like I will add an undyed yarn as well to hold double with these. So like it'd be 1 strand of undyed and 1 strand of Surrey, just to give it a bit more bulk. So I don't have to hold 2 strands of Surrey, because I would definitely not have enough for that. I did not do like a picture or anything. I'm not sure if they'll look good together. I think they will. This shows a bit purple, but it also just looks gray. It's like a purpley gray. So I think it would work. So that's the plan with this, and I'm not probably going to get to it too soon. I have to make a list and then decide what I want to do for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, all that, because it's a really hard decision. But yeah, I'm excited to do this one. I think it'll be fun. And I think I was thinking of doing, Petite Knit has a sweater pattern that is like a striped one, and I thought I could use this yarn for that and do it striped. But I would have to do like double width stripes and thinner stripe so that I can balance it. I'll put the name of it here. I'm so unprepared. Okay, and the last thing that I wanted to share, and this is something so I don't know if you guys saw, there's like a bunch of knitting journals that you can buy for like tracking your knitting and your projects and everything, and it's called, the one that I was really interested in was called My Year in Knitting 2025, and everywhere that I looked it was sold out. And and so I did like a Google image search to try and find something similar, and I found this one on Etsy, and I'll link the name of the Etsy account, whatever, down below. I'll even maybe put it up here of the name as well. And she has a bunch of like bundles that you can get, and one of them is the crochet and knitting planner. So what it is, it's a digital download. You like buy the pattern, or you buy the digital download, and then you can send it to a printer. And the really cool thing about this one is it comes in 3 different sizes. So you can get like the A4, the A5, or the US size. And I really just wanted the A5. I was like doing my research on the sizes, and the A5 seemed like the appropriate size. But I didn't want to spend a ton on printing, and I didn't want to go to a place I was unfamiliar with, and so I ended up just going through Staples, and they didn't offer it in that size. Like I could still send that file, but then it would either be this size, but the pages would be small, or they would stretch it to fit, and that would have looked awful. So I just went with the full US size, so I don't have to worry about it looking all stretched out or funny. So it's bigger than I wanted it to be, but I still think it's like, I'm not sad or mad that it's bigger, it's just less portable, which is fine. So in this one, and also the nice thing about these, like this digital download, is when you send it to the printer, you can choose the pages that you want printed. And so I actually had them do 3 times the amount of the crochet and knitting project planner pages, and I omitted a couple of pages. So that's a really nice feature, kind of customizing it that way. So I have like the crochet and knitting project planner where you can put down your project number. It says project number, date started, date finished, like all the information for your pattern, and you can do like put in a photo and all that kind of stuff, rate it. And so this page I have, I think, I want to say there's like 20 of them. So I just wanted to make sure that this planner would last me all year, and I have big plans for my year, but we'll see if I get it all done. On top of the crochet and knitting project planner page, they also have a pattern journal, which is a similar idea. So I think that it's like if you prefer one style over the other style kind of thing, because it's very similar. I think the biggest difference is that on this pattern journal one, it has a spot called testers, and I think it's if you're a pattern designer, and then you're putting in your tester names down at the bottom and ticking off when they've completed it. Yeah, I think that, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's for pattern designers, because there's actually a release date in that section as well. So I put them in because they're still going to be useful for pattern, like for charting your patterns and stuff, but I didn't bother tripling that one because I figured it probably would be quite as useful. What else? Also, oh yeah, so then you also have a page for project goals and bucket list. So that's really handy. You have a page for stash details. And I don't think I doubled up on this one either, but it wouldn't have been a bad idea. So you can track your stash. There's 4 on each page. It's like you can do the color, weight, yardage, ideas that you want with that. And it's a little bit out of order because they had to rebind it because they missed some of the pages that I wanted in there. She overlooked seeing that, so it's a little bit, but it's okay. Did that one, and oh, I see what she did. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and then there's a yarn inventory and project plan page, which is a little bit, I think, more useful than the stash one because this is a quicker way of documenting your yarn and project plans than the whole stash one. So this, I think, would be more useful to me. They've got like standard yarn weight information. They have all the standard conversions. You've got like your needle conversion page. You can do abbreviation pages. So they've got like the knitting abbreviations all there. They have one for crochet, and they also have one for Tunisian crochet, which is really cool. I did end up printing that one in here because I done Tunisian crochet once. I really did enjoy it, and I would like to do more projects that way, but it's so low on my list of what I want to do that I haven't made time for it. But I do enjoy the process of it. I think it's a fun skill. I think it's a fun skill. What else in here? Additional notes page. A couple of pages I ended up not using. I think there was like some sketching pages that I don't sketch, so I'm not going to use them. And then they had a bunch of pages for like putting in the projects that you want to give to people, showing that it was handmade, and it asks, so you can do like the material that you use, the washing instructions, the drying instructions. There's a couple of different options, so you can have your kind of style, but it's all similar And also they have thank you for your orders for people that own businesses and they wanted to send these out with the product that people bought from them. So yeah, it's just all in all really cute little journal that I have now. And I just picked it up today. So I'm super excited to start using this. I'm going to start hopefully today. And then my plan is that I will put all of the yarn that I have in stash, I'll write it all down, and I will assign a project to it so I can track it all in here. And then next episode, I will be much more like coherent and prepared and be able to go over my plans a little bit more in detail. And yeah, so there you go. Okay, so that's everything. I don't think I missed anything. I'm looking around, just making sure. I think I touched on everything. So anyways, that's it. I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!